The Totenpass is a German term referring to inscribed tablets or gold leaves found in burials primarily belonging to initiates of the Orphic tradition. In English, we might call it a passport for the dead. These delicate gold leaves, inscribed with sacred texts, were often rolled up and placed inside small capsules, worn around the neck of the initiates as amulets. They served as guides for the soul, providing instructions for the afterlife. One such gold leaf bears a powerful inscription: "I am the child of earth and starry heaven, but my race is heavenly, and this you know yourselves." The Orphic movement, which emerged in Greece during the 6th and 5th centuries BC, remains one of the most profound spiritual revolutions of antiquity. However, its precise origins are shrouded in mystery. Before Orphism, Greek beliefs about the soul were shaped by the Homeric tradition, which saw the soul as nothing more than a fading emotion, a shadow drifting into Hades after death. But then, something changed. Suddenly, a new perception arose. The soul was no longer a mere shadow. It was the very essence of self-consciousness, the true ego of a person. The Orphics taught that the soul was divine, but imprisoned within the body. This led to the birth of what we call Puritanism, the idea that the soul and the body are in conflict, that the body is a prison from which the soul must be freed. But where did this Orphic philosophy come from? We still do not know. What we do know is that it sparked a profound spiritual revolution. Before the Orphics, the dominant Homeric worldview was this: the gods are eternal, immortal, and completely separate from us. A mortal who dares to resemble the gods commits hubris, an act of arrogance that invites divine punishment, nemesis. Only the gods could be blessed. Mortals had no such hope. But the Orphic movement changed everything. If the soul is the true self and has a divine origin, then that means I, as a mortal, can resemble the gods, because within me is a spark of the divine, a piece of the eternal. To do so is not hubris, it is simply a matter of freeing my divine soul from the constraints of the material world. This belief that a pre-existing divine soul resides within each person was revolutionary. It meant that mortals were not separate from the gods. It meant that the soul's destiny was not mere oblivion in Hades, but a return to the divine. And this revolution did not stop at the spiritual level. It carried political implications as well. If all people possess an eternal divine soul, then all are equal before the divine. Access to the gods is not limited to an elite few, it belongs to everyone. And from this belief, the seeds of democracy were sown. But what is this idea based on? It is rooted in the myth of Dionysus Zagreus. According to Orphic mythology, the Titans captured, dismembered, and consumed Dionysus. In his wrath, Zeus struck them down with his thunderbolt, reducing them to ashes. From these ashes, humanity was created, a fusion of the titanic and the divine. This myth explains human nature. Within each of us exists a struggle between the divine essence of Dionysus and the earthly rebellious nature of the Titans. Our purpose, then, is to liberate the divine within us, to rise above the titanic elements of our being. And this is where Orphic thought takes its most radical turn. If all people possess a divine soul, the true self, not just free men, but also slaves, settlers, and women, then true equality extends to everyone beyond the rigid boundaries of the ancient city-states. The Orphic movement, in its spiritual depth, transcended and extended the political landscape of its time. This was the greatness of the Orphic revolution, a revolution that transformed not only Greek spirituality, but also the way the Greeks saw themselves and each other in a society, in a political way. This is how the great Orphic spiritual revolution of the 6th and 5th centuries BC changed history forever.